Alright, so I do believe my car has a boost leak, okay? So I'm gonna show y'all the steps to finding a boost leak. I'm gonna show you the little gidget gadget that I put together to jimmy rig my car so we can find the boost leak. So here we go, let's get it popping. Alright, so one of the reasons I do believe I have a boost leak is because I was getting 5 psi. Now, for some reason, my car is like, how can I say? It's either barely getting 3 or maybe 3.5. I don't recall. So we go check for a boost leak just to make sure um, I don't have a boost leak. It could be the wastegate acting up. Who knows? But I'm not getting 5 anymore. This right here is my little jerry rig that I put together to search for that boost leak. This right here is nothing more than a plumbing cap. You can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, maybe Ace Hardware, something like that. Get this plumbing cap. You want to get it to the size of the mouth of the turbo. Mine, it says it has a 3-inch mouth inlet. This is a 3-inch cap, plumbing cap, off the plumbing section of a hardware store. It says 3-inch, but I noticed when I put it on there, it was like way bigger. I don't know if this is way bigger than 3 inches, or my turbo inlet isn't exactly 3 inches, but it does come with a clamp that you can tighten it down to get it to fit, so it's all good. What I did was, this is the fitting for an air compressor, and I went to Ace Hardware, got a screw that fit on the back, put a washer. You have to drill a hole in the cap, push the fitting through. I put a washer and a screw in the back. I've seen other guys just push it through and use silicone to seal it, but I put a screw just in case, so it won't come off. I also use silicone to kind of seal it a little bit so minimum air escape as possible. So this cap right here, basically all I'm gonna do is take it in the mouth, the inlet of the turbo, just slip it over it, and once you slip it over it, you had a clamp right there. Come on, phone, there you go. And basically you just go tighten it down. So once that's on there and tightened down, we're gonna move on to the next stage. Alright, so I have the cap tightened down. I have the hose going to the fitting that I had hanging out of the cap. And as you can see, the hose follows back to a compressor. Now, you don't need some gigantic compressor. This is a small, what is it? Let's see here. This is a 3-gallon, a small 3-gallon compressor, 135 psi. You don't even need that because your car is not boosting 135 psi. You just want to have a compressor strong enough to put the amount of psi that you are boosting. So if you boosting 5 psi, just have a compressor that can get up to 5 psi. If you boosted 10, just have a compressor that can get up to 10, you know, etc., etc. So what you go do, you go turn on the compressor. If it's not full, obviously you gotta let it fill up first, and then this knob right here, at least on mine, this is a Craftsman. This is how you adjust the PSI pressure. So I usually have it to about 150, I think it is, to fill up tires. Cause I basically only use this to inflate tires, but that's too much. You don't want to have 150. So you want to pretty much close this and slowly turn it to get it to 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 psi, whichever one you're running in your car. And once this compress air into the turbo, all we doing is pressurizing the system like how it naturally would if the turbo was spooling up while you're driving. So we're sending compressed air through the system. It's going all through the engine, intake manifold, intercooler, everything. And while it's being compressed, depending on how big your, if you have one, how big your boost leak is, you can hear it. If you can't hear anything, just get soapy water and a spray gun, and just shoot, you know, vacuum lines, hoses, where it's clamped intercooler, stuff like that, wastegate, and see if it start to bubble. Um, Blow off valve, you know, everything that pretty much works off of air. And you want to spray it and make sure nothing's leaking air. And if you have, like I said, a big enough boost leak that actually you can hear it seeping air, and those are real easy to find because you can hear it, just follow the sound. So I'm gonna get this thing fired up and show y'all what it do. Alright, so I already compressed the system with air. The air compressor is too loud to try to talk and have it running at the same time. But if you listen back here, you hear that air leak? And it's coming from this vacuum line right here. You see how the air changes? You hear that? So I need to fix this vacuum line right here. That's where my boost leak is coming from. That's why I'm not getting 5 psi anymore. So I'm gonna fix this line and then repressurize the system and make sure I don't have any more leaks. Also, you can use a smoke machine. I have both, but to me it's easier to use a air compressor to find a leak than to use a smoke machine. But the smoke machine works just as good. Smoke machines is pretty much specifically for air leaks. But the only thing with the smoke machine, instead of hearing air coming out, wherever smoke come out, whether it come out of this line back here, your intake manifold, turbo, or whatever, wherever air escapes in the engine, that's considered a leak. So with the compressor, it uses air. With the smoke machine, obviously it uses smoke. Like I said, if you have either one, you can find a boost leak or any kind of evap leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that line. I could remove that plastic circular center part and just put a straight T if I have one. I don't even know if I have one, but let me go through my what you call that, my stash and see what I got. But yeah, I found a vacuum leak or boost leak, either one. It's coming right off the back of the engine. That line actually goes to the boost gauge, so that's why the boost gauge isn't reading 5 psi. That's actually the vacuum line for the boost gauge. So I'm gonna put a straight T on that and see what happens. I'll get back, folks. Alright, so this is the the vacuum insert that was on the line. As you can see, as I was removing it, it just completely fell apart. I checked my stash. I didn't have a straight vacuum fitting, but I had a T, which I can make work. It's just one side that I wouldn't be using. I could just plug it. That wouldn't have been a problem. But I noticed with the fittings that came with the gauge, they have they're filtered, and you can see where the filter is actually catching debris from getting inside of the gauge. I don't know if this debris will actually stop the gauge from working, or how much will it be able to handle before it does stop working, but it came with it, so I'm assuming it's needed. I found this extra one. Some of you probably wondering, well, these already showed they're not worthy, they failed already. Why would you put another one in there? But the thing is, with the one I found, I siliconed it. This one cracked right in the split. I guess the glue that was holding it wasn't strong enough to hold the PSI of being boosted. So with this one, I just went around it with silicone to give it a little extra strength. So we'll see how long this one lasts, and I'm gonna try this one. Also, I'm gonna try to find or Google how I can get some more of these, 'cause I've never seen these in auto parts stores that have a filtered center. And what I'm gonna end up doing though, I'm gonna put this one back together. All it was held together with glue, but I'm gonna use silicone, maybe a little crazy glue, just to get the process started to where it will stick. and then go around it like how I did this one with the silicone, and eventually reuse it. Because other than that, there's nothing wrong with it. This one is filtered, but as you can see, it's not as thick as that one. It has I don't know if you can see it, but see, yeah, that white circle is filtered also on the inside, but there you go. It's filtered on the inside, but it's a lot thinner than the previous one I was using. So it should work for now, but I think once I repair this one, I might put it back. I just don't want the gauge to get not corroded, but filled with dirt and debris that's coming out of that intake manifold and stop the gauge from working. And you know, you try to go get a replacement. Oh, did you use the filtered fittings? You know, in a bit I tell them, nah, you know, it broke, so what I used next wasn't filtered, and they void my warranty because it wasn't filtered and all that kind of yakety smackety. You know how that go. But I'm gonna fix this and probably use it some other time down the line. I just wanted to show you what I'm gonna use to replace it. Right now I'm gonna let it dry, so when it's ready to go on, I'll show you how to go. I'm gonna repressurize it, make sure everything's good, and we take it from there. Alright, so I got this fixed back here with the see if you can see it, with the I had the boost leak from this vacuum line that's heading to the gauge. I got that fixed, but once I put it all back together and boost checked it again, it was still making another error sound, and I found out. Can you see? Come on, camera. I don't know if y'all can see that. There we go. The idle air control valve was leaking. I should have recorded it. What I did, I heard the noise, but I couldn't quite find it. So I sprayed back here with soapy water. This is actually awesome. You can get it. I'm saying awesome. I'm not saying that it's awesome, but the damn name of it is awesome. So it is quite awesome though. I sprayed it on there, and it started to bubble. So I knew air was escaping from here. As you can see, those two circles has a black gasket on it. I don't have a new one, and honestly, I don't know where I can get one right now. Besides ordering it and maybe going to the dealer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use some black gasket maker silicone. Put it around there, let it dry. I don't have to dry the car today. Just gotta go to work in the morning. So I'm gonna let it dry, and it should hold. But if not, I'll order one off the internet and put it on. See how I do. It's easy to take off. There's plenty of room back here. All it is I got it dangling on the stud. The stud right here is a 12mm nut. And then in the back, where you see that hole right there on the actual idle control valve, there's another 12mm screw. That's it. You don't even have to unplug. Under the bottom, there's two water lines, and then you have the actual connector that's right there. You don't have to unhook all that. All I did was unscrewed it, backed it up, checked out the gasket, make sure it was intact. It is intact, but it's flat. It doesn't have that soft cushion like it should. It's already brittle. Once it get brittle and hard, it doesn't function right. So I'm gonna just put some gasket maker around it, sit it back on there, let it dry. Hopefully it works. Try to give an update on this video before I upload it, so you know if it worked or not. And once I fix that leak, I'll boost check it again. Well, compression check with the compressor over there, air compressor, and I'll see if I have another leak. So far I had 2 leaks. No wonder I was only getting 2.5, 3 psi when I was supposed to get 5. So let me do that, and I'll get back at you. Alright guys, I got bigger problems than I thought. I siliconed the top, sprayed it. Let's see. As you can see, the top isn't bubbling anymore. I put silicone, it's fine. But where the big leak is coming from, you can actually hear it. Do you see those bubbles down there? That's actually the rear of the idle air control valve. It's where the electrical part is. that part is letting air in, so it's worse than just a gasket. The whole sensor itself is bad. You can't replace the back of it where the sensor connects to, so I'm just gonna have to get a whole nother, you see that? Right there. You see those bubbles come out of there? That's not good. That's a vacuum leak not only for the turbo, but for the engine itself. I noticed sometime at idle, the idle will fall, but it'll pick itself back up. I was kind of curious why it did that. This may be the reason. The back of the idle control valve, where the electrical connection is sucking air. So I'm gonna have to get another one. It's not to the point where the car is not functional, I can't drive it or anything like that. But if I ever just wanted to get a smooth build a boost without actually losing any, I'm gonna have to get this fixed. So I'm gonna price them online and see how much they cost. I'm not in a hurry to get one, cause like I say, my car run fine. I just noticed my PSI wasn't going as high as it should on my boost gauge. But I'm gonna close this video out because I most definitely can't fix this right now. So this is ways to find vacuum leaks, boost leaks, compressor, compress the engine with air, and if you can't find it by listening, start spraying around. And when you spray around, you'll see these bubbles forming like how this is right here. So hopefully you learned something from this video. And if you have any questions, comment at the bottom, like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on my next project. Quick update on my idle control valve. What I ended up doing is siliconing it. I siliconed the heck out of it. So far it's working good, so let me show you real quick. I'm not for sure you can see that. The sun is shining pretty bright. I'm trying to block it so the camera can focus in. But right around the idle control valve where it was leaking, my camera's blurry, but let's see if I can maneuver it a little bit. Alright, it's not acting right, but right around here where it's leaking, the bubbles was blowing out, I just went around it with black silicone to seal the hole where the air was escaping, and so far it's working fine. Like I said before, the idle control valve worked. The electrical part, no check engine light or anything like that. It was just sucking the air. Every now and then my idle would drop, but it would pick back up. So I just put silicone around it to save myself some money, and so far it's working. So silicone, gasket maker, whichever one you want to call it, it does come in handy. So this is just a quick update. I didn't go buy an idle control valve after all. I just siliconed it. You can kind of see it now, the black silicone going around right here. So if you're having this problem, maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. But I just wanted to show you what I ended up doing. Like I said before, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.